welcome to FunNGun. We got what has easily become one of my favorite 22 suppressor hosts. This is a Smith & Wesson Victory pistol with a 2.6-inch Tandomkross barrel in it. What that means is that pretty much all of your supersonic ammo is going to be subsonic through this little gun, so that means you can just go pick up your bulk pack and have an absolute blast with this little gun without breaking the bank. So that's pretty cool. So what I have set up here is I have you sitting at 5 yards here, and we're going to go ahead and shoot 3 different types of ammo. We're going to start off with a supersonic round, then we'll go to a subsonic round, then we'll go down to a suppressor round, and we're going to go ahead and shoot them back and forth around the camera here to kind of give you an idea of what that sounds like. And in front of the gun there, and then I'm going to go ahead and swap to the head cam here, and I'm going to shoot the same 3 rounds again to give you an idea of what this gun sounds like from the shooter's perspective. So let's go ahead and run a few rounds through this gun, starting off with the supersonic here, and I'll go ahead and insert off to the side here what ammo I am shooting at the same time here. So swap over to the standard velocity here. And the suppressor ammo real quick here. So as you can see there, pretty much any of the ammo you're going to put through this little gun is going to be pretty darn quiet. So let's go ahead and swap to the head cam here and give you an idea of what that sounds like. Okay, let's go ahead and shoot it a little bit with the head cam here to give you an idea of what it sounds like at the shooter's ear here. We're going to start off with the supersonic ammo again. Put a few out into the woods to give you an idea here. Swap over to the standard velocity. And the suppressor rounds here. And as you can see there, pretty much anything you put through this little gun is going to be pretty quiet. So let's go ahead and head back into the table here and give you a closer look at this setup. Okay, now that we're back in here at the table, I want us to go ahead and clarify something right here up front. YouTube, just go ahead and listen closely here. Absolutely nothing in this video is for sale. None of the guns in this video, none of the accessories in this video, absolutely nothing is for sale. None of the codes in this video, none of the links in this video have anything to do with firearm sales whatsoever. Nothing in this video is for sale. This video is intended for educational purposes only. All the pricing in this video that I mentioned is for reference reasons only and has absolutely nothing to do with anything being for sale, because nothing is for sale here. So YouTube, just go ahead and leave me alone there. And I also want to go ahead and say a big thanks to Sealy Optics for bringing me on as an affiliate of their brand. If you're looking for a good red dot sight, it's not going to break the bank, you can go ahead and use the link in the description below there, and that's going to open up their website. And then you can use code FunNGun at checkout to get 10% off nearly everything on there. And what we're talking about that is what's on top here. We have a Sealy Ghost HDG. This is one of the cooler looking sights they make in my opinion, and that's why I chose to go ahead and put it on top of this little setup right here. It just looks cool. If you're interested in that sight, I'll go ahead and drop a link to it at the end of this video. And what we actually have here today is a Smith & Wesson Victory with a Tandomkross Comet barrel. And I did mention a second ago, this is a 2.6-inch barrel. It's technically a 2.69-inch barrel, so it's close to a 2.7-inch barrel. But either way, it is extremely short, and it gets the job done for what it is supposed to do, and that is make the gun overall shorter, and it also makes it to where you can shoot pretty much any of your bulk pack ammo, or just pretty much any 22 ammo in general, with the exception of maybe something like a Stinger or a Veloster or something that might still possibly break the sound barrier. I doubt it with how short this barrel is, but as you can see there, when I was shooting that Blazer in it, this gun is still extremely quiet, even shooting supersonic rounds, which is really cool. And you only really gain a little bit on the end here. You got, I think it was a little under 3 inches. Now that is with the suppressor we have on here. This is a Silencer Co. switchback from that I've had for quite a while now. As you can tell, because this is the older variation, they are full black now. But this particular suppressor is modular, so you can actually take this part, move it back here, and you'd be a lot closer to the standard length of the barrel, and you can actually take the cap off and bring it back here and make it short. But neither one of those configurations on a handgun is going to be really quiet, so go ahead and run the full setup here. And not a real big deal, seeing as this was a full bull barrel before. The extra weight on the front of it kind of just bounces it back out, so overall, not a bad deal there. Now, the barrel itself here, I will say, the only kind of drawback to this is they stay out of stock a lot because they are pretty darn awesome. And then the other kind of drawback is going to be this thumb ledge, which is really cool to have and all, and it looks neat, just something different. But the drawback to it is once you put about 4 or 5 magazines through it, being a solid aluminum piece, mounted to the side of a steel barrel, it is going to heat soak all the way down into this little pad right here, and it gets pretty darn hot on your thumb. So you got to stop and let the gun cool off every now and then. And it's also pretty cool. It is adjustable. I have it set all the way back because I have a smaller hand, but you can move it forward and into the middle there, and you can adjust it to your hand size. But that is kind of the only drawback to that. Or you can just take it off all together, and you don't have to worry about it being hot on your thumb, I guess. So kind of the drawback of the barrel there, but it is pretty cool how it just gets it pretty reasonably close. Like I said, it's just a little bit longer, but it keeps you from having to go and get a integral suppressed barrel. You can still use the suppressor you already have, and that, in my opinion, in itself makes it worth buying because you don't have to do that. Now the funny thing is I actually have pretty much as the barrel cost in the entire gun setup itself, and that's kind of a funny story because I actually found this for sale on a local kind of buy-sell trade group, and it was 400 beans when I picked it up, and it came with the factory barrel here, which is already sold. My buddy just hadn't picked it up yet. It come with a pack light barrel with the rail on top of it, the Tandomkross barrel here, the Tandomkross mount, a factory plastic mount for a red dot, and the factory rear sight. So what I did was I went ahead and unloaded everything I didn't want for this particular gun on eBay, and like I said to my buddy there, and that brought me down to 162 beans in this entire setup, not counting the sight. But if you're getting technical, Sealy did send me this as a review sight, so I really don't have anything in the sight at all. So got 162 beans in this setup, and that is obviously excluding the suppressor there because you can't take that off, put it on anything else. So really cool setup, and the only real drawback, in my opinion, to the Victory pistol, there's a few here, and number one is going to be the 10-round magazines. Really annoying that they haven't kind of caught up with the times here and come out with a larger magazine gun, Smith & Wesson here at least. And the fact that this is a full plastic bottom end of the gun, that means they could come up with something, mold something different here, and still probably adapt it to the trigger pack here and the upper without having to completely redesign the gun, and I feel like that is something they should do. Now, I know there is a few options out there for a different follower and a different base, and I think each of them gains you like 1 round. I did think about picking up both and seeing if I can make like a 12-round mag. I may do that at one point, and if that ends up working pretty good, I'll make a video on that, but you are going to lose the button right there that is going to lock the slide open when you run out of rounds. Now, something I haven't done yet here, before everybody freaks out here, the gun itself is unloaded there. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll try to move it around a little bit there, but there's nothing in the chamber there. There is also nothing in the magazine there. This gun is safe. And the cool thing, at that price, I did get 3 magazines as well. Now, I am going to pick up a few more magazines because 10 rounds goes pretty darn quick there, but regardless, absolutely awesome setup. A few more things I may do to the gun over time as I want to put some G10 grips on it just because, and I definitely feel like it needs a charging handle, like extension, like one of those little hooks or something, finger side, or a little thing on the side where you can get a hold of it more, because even though it is flared out right there, the spring in this gun is pretty stiff, and it makes it very difficult to go ahead and rack the slide there, in my opinion. So that is the kind of the other drawback to the Smith & Wesson here. Some of the positives is the fact that it is really easy, in my opinion, to take apart and clean. Pull this one screw out, whole top of the gun comes off, and then to take the barrel out, you loosen up the set screw, pop it out, and that little lug right there, or that little divot right there, is what that set screw is going to press on to lock it in. So if you shoot this gun a lot suppressed, you can go ahead and just pop that screw out, loosen that one up, pull it out, and you can clean your breech face nice and easily there. So that's a pretty cool factor as well, because you're not having to work with the ejection port there to clean the gun. You can just pull it all the way out to clean it. So makes it another positive for it to be a suppressor host. So overall, the gun itself is pretty awesome. Another thing about this is it has an absolutely awesome trigger on it. It is adjustable for over travel right there, and I do not remember if it's adjustable for pre-travel. I don't believe it is, but either way, you got a really nice trigger on this particular gun. And really, there's one more thing I forgot about. If you get the Comet barrel here, you are going to either need to pick up a Tandomkross sight mount, which this gun already had on it when I picked it up, or you are going to have to pick up one of the plastic Smith & Wesson mounts, or there's a few other options out there, because you do have the you don't have a front sight anymore, and there is nowhere to put it. I guess you could probably find somebody to drill and tap it to where you put the front sight back on there. I believe you have enough room there for that if that's something you were looking to do there. But overall, the reasons that I feel like this is the best suppressor host, or pistol suppressor host, so it's one of my favorites, is, like I mentioned, the fact that you can pretty much put any bulk ammo through you want. You got an awesome trigger. Got a few downsides, like I said, the magazine there. It does come with a magazine disconnect. I went ahead and took that out of it because, well, that's pretty well useless in my opinion. But overall, in general, the fact that it's easy to clean, It's stupid quiet with anything. Makes this one of the coolest and best suppressor hosts on the market, in my opinion. That's all I have for you today.
Okay, if you made it this far, I just want to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're looking for more FunNGun right now, you can click one of the 2 recommended videos there. If you're looking for more FunNGun later, you can go ahead and click that there subscribe button. I sure would appreciate it. And if you're finding me from Facebook, go ahead and click that open app button at the top to make all that a lot easier, and I'll see you next time.